everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's Carr's Raiders going up against Roethlisberger's Steelers. So let's get you up to the Steel City. Standing by in Pittsburgh, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. Tonight, we've got a good AFC matchup on tap between the Oakland Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And we are underway from Heinz Field. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. First carry for Latavius Murray. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
On second down, here's Carr. Throw left side to the tight end, Walford. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And Mr. Cooper, Amari, a headliner in this offensive unit.
Brandon, it's rare that you get guys so polished coming out of college, but Amari Cooper has carried himself like a pro probably since he was 6 years old. He is a terrific talent.
Carr now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. They were trying to get it to DeAndre Washington, and it's fourth down. So on fourth down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And it's good enough for a Pittsburgh first down. Fresh set of downs here.
That was a nice completion on an out route. And those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end, and that'll bring up second down. And here's a look at the starting offense. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Quickly now, the starting 11 for the Oakland defense.
Bruce Irvin is an emotional, passionate player who lives to rush the quarterback.
On third down, Roethlisberger. He gives it to Brown, complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. He may be all of that. They'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First 2 games in the playoffs were great, but, you know, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste, gives him fuel for the next season, though, because, remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season. For various reasons, Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game season and heading into the playoffs. Le'Veon Bell can set new records.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. The Steelers call here on the Aussie, Australian-born Jordan Berry now to punt this one away. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. That was second down run for Murray. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Bud Dupree came out of the University of Kentucky determined to let everyone know that they play football there as well as basketball. A terrific pass rusher off the edge.
It finds Crabtree for the completion. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. No matter what defense is called versus a running play, linebackers are telling the defensive guys up front, you take care of the offensive line, keep us uncovered, let us run to the ball, we'll make big plays. Well, that paid off there. All the guys up front, the big fellas, they controlled the 5 offensive linemen. That allowed the linebackers to see the openings, sprint through the gap, and snuff that play out in a hurry.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. Throwing his car on 3rd down. Crabtree with it over the middle. 18 yards there and a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. Decent chunk of yardage still left here, 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt. And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now Carr with a give to Murray. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On first down, Murray. And not much running room. Down to the 32. A gain of 3, second down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now Carr. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
It's Ross Cockrell that time that made the tackle. Oh, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Now a handoff looking right. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down. One receiver to the left is Cooper. To throw is Carr. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back to Heinz Field after this. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on fourth. They'll go for it. It's Carr. And it is incomplete. Oh, well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No,
you know I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they had been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year, they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Over the middle here to Brown. Brown finishing 2016 with over 1,200 yards, 106 receptions. Now for him, you know, people were expecting maybe some bigger numbers. Charles, what did you make of Antonio Brown's season?
Well, what I made of it is that he started to get more help along the way. Jesse James developed at tight end. Once Le'Veon Bell got into the lineup, he started to catch passes out of the backfield and ate up a few numbers as well. So Big Ben had more targets to throw it to. That should help Antonio Brown going forward in 2017 because he'll still be the primary guy. But when you get help, well, you can make bigger plays downfield.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times.
This is caught inside the 15. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Throwing now is Carr. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there. That'll bring up second down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Now Carr throwing on second down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Carr now on 3rd and goal. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So on 4th down, off goes Carr, and on is Sebastian Janikowski. And Janikowski bangs it through, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the second quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And this one complete to Marcus Wheaton. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. He leaps over him. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Eluding the pressure right. It's complete to Brown, right side. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown, and Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic, and Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On second down, it's Bell. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. Brown, the lone receiver left. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he's got Rodgers. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll run it with Williams. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Stonewalled on 2nd down. Now let's see what they can do on 3rd and goal from the 2. 3rd and 2. Now Roethlisberger. Flushed out right. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. They're not going to kick it. A chip shot, but they're going for it down 3 on 4th down. Play clock down to 0, and that's going to be a delay. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Bud Dupree. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. We've got a 3rd and 11. One receiver to the left is Cooper. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. It finds Crabtree for the completion. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Crabtree with it over the middle. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Carr. Throw left side to the tight end, Walford. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
From midfield, here's Carr. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. And the seemingly endless drive continues. They'll run the counter with Murray. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. They go with Murray again. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. This is turning into a bit of a death march here, the 13th play of this drive. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And he knocks it through. Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now Roethlisberger. James has got it. Complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from.
Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
3 down. Go.
They'll go for it with Bell. Sheds a 2nd man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
I tell you, on 4th and 1, when you're way back on your side of the field, I thought this might just be an attempt to draw him off and get the first down that way. But they were going for it the whole time, and they wind up getting it.
He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And now a 1st down following that long gain. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking, why?
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Eli Rogers, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. And he's got it up and through. So they got their touchdown, now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Murray, the lone setback. He's going to get the football. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. Carr going to throw here. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Carr going to throw. This one caught left side by Cooper. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And the Steelers set to take the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to let it fly. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. 3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. And they're going to speed things up here. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive lines, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Oh, wide open, complete. And he'll be down deep into Oakland territory. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. And even 40 yards. They'll come up with split backs in the backfield. He's back to throw. Dancing to his left. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And quickly they get to the line. And they're able to spike it with time remaining. And now in field goal range here with a chance to get this one to OT. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. With 2 seconds left in regulation, this to force overtime. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And that will knot us up at 10. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. First throw in overtime now for Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Coates. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Escaping the pressure right. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It's a pickup of 33 yards. And that'll be good for a Pittsburgh first.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels...
And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. We needed extra time to decide this one. The rushing score and OT finishes it off, but all throughout, really just a great game to witness.